First of all, Nigeria will have to put her own house in order. You cannot give what you don't have. Yeah, Nigeria is not a country at the moment. We are just a gathering of ethnicities and so on and all the. There is no way Nigeria can make a noise at the international level now without sounding hollow or hypocritical. For people, we point you back, go back home, and we are capable of doing so. Nigeria occupies a very, very important position in the world. You know, Africa's most populous country, and it is said that out of every 5 black people all over the world, there is a Nigerian. And apart from that, we have exceptionally creative and, consequential human beings. But we don't have good politics. We don't have good leadership. So we will have to deal with our own leadership first. How to make life easy for the majority of our people. So they have food to eat, they have houses to live in, affordable housing, medical care, they don't just die by the roadside, and there are good schools for their children. We have to live as human beings. We have enough, more than enough, to make us live that way. Let us all tell our public officials, politicians and public servants, civil servants, altogether, all of them, to stop stealing our money. Nigeria has money, our politicians are stealing it. People don't want to knock the problem on the head. This is no time for prevarication. This is no time for jolly protocolic name calling. Corruption is killing this country. We know them. All these billions that have been stolen by these people, they will go to court. The judiciary is compromised. So where do we run? So will Nigeria go to the public forum and talk about corruption? People will laugh. America makes all these proclamations in the world because it has a steady economy, a strong economy, and so on. It's Bile Sheri, Yoruba people will say, Bile Sheri ni water. It is the condition of your own abode that often determines what you do outside.
Nigeria as the most populous black nation in Africa, like you said. But let's look at our population. Is it really an advantage to us?
It should be a great advantage. Look, a lot depends upon what you do with human beings. Yes, we are not overpopulated. No. This is a large country, and we have so much. It's as if Providence has created this country in a way. Go to the east, see the kind of things they produce there. Go to the north. Before Nigeria went off rail, we were a self-sufficient country. You probably have heard about the Granite Pyramids in the north. Yeah, yams, cocoa, rubber over here, palm trees. In the middle belt, yeah, agriculture. One state in Nigeria is capable of feeding the entire population and even exporting agricultural products to other parts of Africa. It is management. Japan doesn't have natural resources. It's the leading technological country in the world today. You may sit beside a river and starve and die of thirst if you don't know how to bring that water to your mouth. Nature is there for us, not to abuse, but to explore and to use. But the water won't jump from the river and come to your mouth. You have to do something about it. So we are not overpopulated at all. No, not at all. A lot depends upon what. Look at the big sums being stolen by our politicians. Somebody did, I think it was Mrs. Fayehu, Sahara Reporters. Did some kind of mathematics on what would have the number of things that could have come to us If the $1.5 billion traced to one of the former ministers had been spent the way it should have been spent, how many hospitals it would have built, the network of roads it would have given us, how many schools it would have built. Nigeria is not a poor country. Nigeria is a country of unconscionably rich few and disenfranchised and impoverished majority. Any solution? Yes. As I said in my lecture, it is with your own mouth you are going to tell the world, I'm not going to eat the rubbish you are putting before me. We are too lethargic, too indolent. Nigerians don't know how to rise. How to say, no, this is what we want. A cockroach will rule us in this country successfully. It is we that will say, no, we don't want this. Americans are fighting Trumpism. Oh, yes, demonstrations all over the place. We will not do this. We will not accept this. It is when you do that you become a human being. You are not a human being if you just sit down and take all the rubbish from thieving politicians and you are there to be cheated. No, the goat in my mother's stable would do better.
But we Nigerians we were never like this. There was a time in our history that we stood together and said no to military, and they went. And so, what really happened along the way?
All of us didn't stand up to the military.
Okay.
You are right, but halfway. If we all had said no to the military, the military dictatorship wouldn't have lasted about 30 years in this country. It was a few people who did. As I mentioned in one of the forums yesterday, what Dr. Taisholari told me in one of our discussions, if you allow them to crack the coconut on your head, you are not likely to be able to participate in the eating. That's a Yoruba proverb. That is only true up to a point.
So
there must be people who will be prepared to offer their heads. Quite a number of them did so during the military era, and that is why we have the little that we have today. The irony of our situation is that those who opposed them, those who were used to attack them, to destroy them by the military, who were taking money from the military, are now politicians. They are reaping where they never sowed. Democracy is here now. But you know what they are doing to the democracy? They're killing it.
So come 2019, what is the way forward for us?
Nigerians will have to decide where they want to go, and it has to be an enlightened decision. We need a voice as a people, and we need to make the world hear that voice. No, Frederick Douglass, it was who said it. You are a slave, and you're waiting for the day your master will say, oh yes, you can go. No, it is you that are in chains that will want to break your chains because you know where they're paining you, they're bruising your joints. It is the people of Nigeria that we have to do this. But we can't do this if we divide ourselves along ethnic, religious lines. But this is what politicians have been using all along to destroy us. Divide and rule, divide and conquer. It is difficult, but we have to do it. The right political education. No.
All right, so just one more question.
Okay, it's okay.
Just the last question. We have a lot of people who want to voice out. People want to, voice out this, ills in society, especially in Nigeria, bad writing, bad drama, and art generally. But they are scared coming out to, voice out because of, imprisonment or arrest one way or the other. So what would you advise, such people to?
I'm not an apostle of martyrdom or harakiri. No. But I also know that you cannot go to heaven if you don't die first. If you are afraid of it, you sacrifice. Every country in the world that has made progress has had people who sacrificed, who make the sacrifice. Nigeria has many of them. Ganifa Wanyimi, Ransom Kuti, Ayobe, Jiti Ogunye, Femi Falana, Agbakoba, and so on. These were the people who fought military dictatorship. It is not easy. In my own small way, I remember many days I couldn't sleep in my own house. I have never handled a gun. But words are also powerful, very powerful. There must be people who are ready to do this, but it's also important, as my father used to say, if you say you are leading a people, you must constantly look beyond your shoulders. You have to look back and see that the people are there, that they understand your language. This is why, in spite of all the attempts by some powerful countries in the world, they were not able to destroy Fidel Castro. Yeah, he was a radical, but he had his people behind him. So the education of our people is extremely important. Yeah, people are, even right now, people are taking risks. Nigeria's press, the Nigerian press still remains one of the most viable in the world. Let nobody underrate the role of the Nigerian press in the little progress we've been able to make so far. I don't know whether you were too young at that time, but many media organizations were closed down during the time of Gowon, to begin with, Babangida, Abacha, yes, and Buhari. First coming of Buhari, he came as a very, very vicious dictator. Yeah. It's struggle. This is important. You know.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.